Oh, you're gonna have to teach everything, to be honest.
I'll just ask. Hello and welcome to the Pacific Military Cup 7's. This is the inaugural competition for this Military Cup 7's, which will be running over the 9th to the 13th of October of this year. Hi and welcome from wherever you are in the world. I am your commentator for today, Molly Gray, and I'm joined by Ian Beaton. And we're in for a show today. We've got teams from all over the Pacific, coming from Tonga, Samoa, Cook Islands, New Zealand, Solomon Islands, Fiji and Vanuatu. So you are going to be in for a show. The competitions will be run from a round robin competition, so each team is going to be playing 3 games today, and there's going to be multiple games tomorrow as well. The teams have been really busy while they've been here in Australia, and they've gone to the War Memorial yesterday where they participated in a last post ceremony. So they are definitely experiencing a lot from Australia while they're here. So the first game up for this morning is going to be the Cook Islands versus Solomon Islands, and I'm joined by Ian. Ian, how do you think this morning's going to go?
Well, both teams, as I understand, haven't played a lot of footy up until now. I know the Cook Islands only got together about a month before coming out here, and I spoke to the coach before, and most of them have never played a game of footy competitively, so it should be pretty good. I know the girls are quite excited for being out here, experiencing Australia. They love going to the shops and so forth, but they're ready to get stuck in today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with women's rugby, is that the teams are generally thrown together at the last minute. But what I love about women's rugby is that they're just so passionate about what they do, and they put on a really great game for us. So everyone's just getting ready in their team huddles. So we're ready to start. It's a great morning here in Canberra, and thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful morning, actually. It's not too hot, not too cold. It was raining a little bit earlier, but it's just cleared up now. Perfect rugby conditions. So the Australian team, the hosts, they've been busy these last few weeks. They've been in camp for about 2 weeks now, and they took off to Mudgee last weekend, where they played for the first time in quite a while, and they managed to take out the tournament. So they are definitely ready to rock and roll, which is going to be exciting because there's a lot of experience in that Australian side. They've got touch representatives. Someone's represented Australia before. Okay, so we've got the Solomon Islands and the Cook Islands lining up now.
nation of the Solomon Islands versus the nation of the Cook Islands.
Alrighty, so the national anthems are out of the way and these two teams are ready to rock and roll. Solomon Islands are out there today in the light blue jerseys, whilst the Cook Islands are in the dark blue. My mistake. Cook Islands are in the light blue, Solomon Islands are in the dark blue. Just to confuse you a bit at home for wherever you are watching, as the referee runs out onto the field and we're about to get underway. Okay, so this the Cook Islands are out there with the ball and they're about to kick off to Solomon Islands. Alrighty, and we're off. Cook Islands send the ball deep to the Solomon Islands as they take the ball up into contact, a little bit of a ball over the top, and they take off. Solomon Islands are taking off in the first 10 seconds of the game. Cook Islands don't know what to do and they can't keep up. How great. What a great start for the Solomon Islands. Ian, what did you think of that?
Yeah, that was beautiful. A bit of quick hands at the start there, and then they find the nice gap in the defence, and off she goes. A good 50-metre sprint to the try line. Excellent start for them.
Absolutely. This is what I love about Rugby Sevens, is that the tries are able to be scored so quickly, and if you lose concentration in defence, it makes it so easy for that attack to be able to get straight through. All right, so an unsuccessful conversion there. All right, ready to go again. Solomon Islands are now kicking off to the Cook Islands as they send the ball just past the 10-metre. The Cook Islands gather it up and take it up. It's good contact there. Solomon Islands just a little bit too good there as they take the ball back. Bit of scrappy footy on the ground there. And they find some space right on the corner and they manage to, unfortunately, just step out over the line there. But good work to the Solomon Islands for getting the ball back. As we get ready for a line out, it's the Cookies throw in. Right, as the ref calls that up, pulls it back.
So calling it there for not a straight throw. So it's a quick another line out here for the Sollies now. So 20 metres out, they've got the attack. The Cookies will have to defend well.
Solomon Islands, as they're spreading the ball wide, they get it out to the last player who's big contact there. As they take it out.
Bit of a fumble there going on the blind side, but she's coming back strong. It seems like they've got the overlap on the left, but still good defence from the Cookies at this stage.
Bit of back and forth rugby here as the Solomons just don't seem to know what they're doing and what way that they want to go. probably should have just taken into contact then to slow the ball down a little bit and start to spread it out wide, but they went back and forth for a little bit, and unfortunately for them now, it is the Cook Islands ball as we go in for another scrum. Cook Islands feed. But it's the Solomon Islands that get the ball back again as they start to look to spread it wide. A bit of a lob over the top to the number 4 in Kararoa.
Oh, beautiful. Good cutting.
He manages to get over the line again for the Solomon Islands. I just love the crowd here today. They're so into it. It's amazing. We've got so many different countries and everyone is just so excited to be here celebrating women's rugby. We've got all of the countries, and then off to our right-hand side, we've also got the Army Band playing as well, so adding to the atmosphere of this amazing crowd today. So the score is currently sitting at 12-0 to the Solomon Islands. And the Sollies look to kick off again as they make an interchange for the Cook Islands. And Tuakum is coming onto the field. Kick off again just past the 10-metre. Good take there by the Cook Islands. They take it up. And she just keeps going. Good leg drive there.
Oh,
she manages to get away from the Solomon Islands.
Oh.
Bit of confusion there on who wants to pick the ball up.
There's an excellent breakthrough there. Unfortunately, the hands just didn't pay off at the end there. But that was a fabulous run. The Sollies will now have a tap of this or a scrum at this, and I'm sure they'll come back hard.
That was a good effort there by the Cook Islands. We haven't seen them with the ball in hand too much then, but they've proven to us that with the ball in hand and with a little go forward, they are quite deadly and they're hard to get down. They've just got to start to work on their ball security. And we're about to go into a scrum with the Solomon Islands feed. As Tahagena comes onto the field. And Burra has come off the field. Bit of a slow start to the scrum here. The ref looks like she's just explaining a little bit to the two teams.
Yeah, a lot of these teams would not have had some decent scrum time against full opposition, so it's a pretty new experience to most of the girls, so I'm sure the nerves will settle after a couple of these and then they'll get right into it.
Well, that's it. It's the first game of the day, so nerves and early morning and everyone's just getting into their groove as the ball comes out the back for the Solomon Islands scrum. They do a bit of a switch there and head off to the right-hand side of the field. Spreading the ball wide again, looking for space. Up the centre she goes. Offload again, a little bit messy. As she heads to the centre of the field, number 8 of Sipu. Passes the ball off to Ningalo, who looks to go up the centre. Off with a fend. Looks to the outside. No one's there. She tries to offload the ball and manages to get taken down by the Cook Islands. And that's half time for the first game. Cook Islands versus Solomon Islands. The score currently stands at 12-0 to the Solomon Islands. Great first half. Ian, what did you think of that?
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. You can see they're pretty much evenly matched. The Solomon Islands got a couple of tries on the board there, but the Cookies, they can definitely come back with this one. If they keep the ball in hand and make clean passes, I'm sure they'll bring in for an excellent second half.
Yeah, absolutely. They've definitely shown to us with ball in hand they are quite dangerous. So we'll have about a minute break here for the half time of the Pacific Military Cup 7's. It is the inaugural competition and it will be running over the 12th and 13th of October. Best part about this is it is the first women's defence rugby tournament specifically aimed at Pacific Island countries. And we have so many countries here today. So New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, Fiji and Vanuatu. And this is the first of many games for today. It's great to see that we've got the Army Band here creating some good atmosphere for the competition and some great crowds going on as well, making lots of noise and getting in and amongst it to support these two teams today. All right, so the whistle is blown as the ref signals for the players to come back out onto the field to get underway for the second half. Score is currently standing at 12-0 to the Solomon Islands, who have been so dominant throughout the first half of the game. But like we said, the Cook Islands are very strong with the ball in hand. They just need to hold on to it. They just need to punch forward and create some opportunities for themselves. So the Solomon Islands will kick off first to the Cookies. Your commentators today. My name is Molly Gray and I am joined by Ian Beaton today as well. So welcome, Ian.
Thank you very much. It's awesome. I've been lucky enough to be a host officer here for the previous few days, and it's excellent attitude and vibe kicking around, and everyone's enjoying themselves.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining me in the commentary box today as the Sollies kicked off to the Cook Islands, and the Cook Islands are really starting to find their groove a little bit as they get into contact. Unfortunately, they just lost the ball, and the Solomons, bit of messy ball there. It's called back by the ref, bit of a knock on, and the ball will then go to the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, that's their good defence by the Solomon Islands. Good pressure at the ruck time, caused the error, and they get the ball just over halfway in the attacking side. From here, they should be looking to probably spread the ball nice and wide and hopefully go for the corners.
Well, they look like they have some fast players out there in Tukunupualu. Out there on the wing for the Solomon Islands. We get ready for a scrum. Solomon Islands feed.
Oh, excellent pressure at the scrum. Causes the fumble. Knock on Solomon Islands. Good work, Cook Islands. That was excellent.
As they make their way in for another scrum. And it'll be the Cook Island feed this time. Gives them a little bit of an opportunity. They're in the centre of the field. Solomon Island defence is all on the far right-hand side of the field. As the Cook Islands feed, scoop the ball up. Bit of a messy ball there. Managed to pick it up as they start to head to the right-hand side of the field. Make the contact there, and the number 6 in Takura takes it up. Good leg drive there, but Solomon Islands get her down.
Yeah, good strong run. They've got an overlap on the left here. But there you go, ref blows it, coming in from the sides. You've got to go through the gates when you clear out. The Cook Islands have got a good opportunity to head left now and make use of the overlap.
Absolutely, and Takura takes the ball up again. Big contact. Offloads the ball as they start to send it left. And the 12 in Haggai takes the ball into contact. And the ref blows the whistle again.
Good work, Solomon Islands. They're getting the player, not releasing the ball. Good pressure, pilfering that ball there, and now they're off quickly.
Solomon Islands look for the offload there as they don't want to take the ball to ground. They spread the ball out to the wing and she takes it back inside. Bit of a messy offload there as they look to aim for the centre of the field, and they start to take it up, and Victoria is the one who looks like she's hopping along the field. They head out to the right wing. A big run there by the Solomon Islands. As the ball spills out the back, it's picked up. And the number 1 in Ningalo takes off again. She's been an absolute star for the Solomon Islands today. But Cook Islands, good defence.
Yeah, that was good defence there. Unfortunately, the tackle just coming in a bit high. So the ref's blown them there. Penalty to the Solomon Islands. I'm sure they'll take a quick tap here and just go for it.
They slow the penalty down. Number 1, Ningalo, takes it up again. Looks for the space, looks for the fend. Off she goes. Straight through. Fend, and she gets right through to take the try, which takes... Some great work there by the Solomon Islands, really using their opportunities there, and they're so strong into contact as they're able to find that space, and they're using their strength and their physicality to get through.
Yeah, that's it. They're getting a nice little lead here going. They'd be feeling pretty good at the moment, and from here on, I'm sure they will just keep to their game plan and keep giving it to them. As the Solomon Islands make their way back to the halfway as they look to kick off. The score is currently sitting at 19-0 to the Solomon Islands. They've been so dominant throughout this game so far. We've only got a few minutes left. All right, the Sollies kick off again. They send it deep into the Cook Islands. As the Cook Islands start to find some space here as she looks to... Bit of a dummy step there as she weaves her way through the field and aims for the centre. A good tackle there by the Solomon Islands as the Cook Islands scoop the ball up again and look to head towards the wing, offload the ball to the number 9 in Taru. She's a big girl as she just bends and muscles her way through, and the Solomon Islands manage to take her down. There you go, getting blown for not releasing the player. So the Cook Islands, after some good work, get a bit of payoff there. A penalty near the 22 metres, so hopefully they can make the most of it and come back.
This is a really good opportunity here for the Cook Islands as they are just sitting outside the 22 and they look to spread the ball to the number 11 in Veve Maki.
Oh, good run. She hit through. Oh, unfortunately, she dropped the ball at the last minute there. Turn over to the Sollies.
Solomon Islands with another big run and an offload there as they look to punch it up through the centre. Offload again, bit messy, picked up again by Ningalo, who's been an absolute superstar for the Solomon Islands as she weaves her way through the defence and straight through, and she makes a 60-metre dash for the try line. Amazing work there by the Solomon Islands.
That was excellent. Good little step coming back inside. Get the defence off. Nice straight running, and off she goes for another 60-metre sprinter.
And what about that footwork? God, the defence just don't know what's coming at them.
Yeah, that's it. The Solomon Islands have started real well here. They're doing an excellent job. The Cookies just need to focus a bit on the defence, and then hopefully when they get a bit more of the pill, they'll be able to get back into attacking and hopefully score a couple of tries.
Ningalo's coming off the field. Well-deserved rest for her. She scored all of the Solomon Island tries today as we see Tagini come onto the field. And then number 13 in Rubina on the field for the Cook Islands.
There you go. Unfortunately missed that conversion. 24-0 to the Sollies.
Number 6 in Wasi is on the field for the Solomon Islands now as they look to kick off. Kick off and they send the ball. Cook Islands scoop it up as they head straight into the contact. Some good ruck defence there. Cook Islands take the ball up, spread the ball to the centre of the field. look to make that contact again as they break through, making some good, strong meters. But unfortunately, it's just been the theme of the day for the Cook Islands, where every time they go into contact, they lose the ball. And that's the end of the first game. Thank you for joining us for the Cook Islands versus Solomon Islands game. Champions of the first game go to the Solomon Islands, who sit at 24-0, so no tries have been scored against them today. Ian, what did you think of that game?
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. Obviously, there was heaps of nerves coming into the first game of the tournament for both teams. And like I said before, none of them have played a lot of competitive rugby in the past. So that was excellent. And the Solomon Islands did really, really well there. They came out strong. Nice straight running. They got a couple of fast players there, hitting some sweet gaps and making long runs for for a well-deserved win. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for the first game of the Pacific Military Cup 7's, which is being run over the 2 days. Champions for the first game, Solomon Islands. As we get ready for the second game, as we get ready for the national anthem for Samoa and Australia. All right, the national anthems are done for Australia versus Samoa as they get into their huddles, and we get ready for the second game of the day for the Pacific Military Cup 7's.
Here we go, strong Samoan team. These girls are going pretty hard during training, and they're also a bit of a life of the party at the pre-functions. The Australians definitely one of the favourites here with New Zealand today. A lot of the players playing here, like I said before, got a lot of experience in touch and the 15s game, so it should be a good quality game.
As Lucy Lockhart, the captain, looks to kick off. She sends it high. As Brooke Moslin picks it up and Australia start to spread it wide into the hands of Nicola Emsley, who steps and works her way through the field. Sends it right out onto the wing to the number 12 for Australia as they streak down the edges. and make big contact there as she drives her legs. They take her down to the ground. Australia look to get the ball. They send it wide, send it out the back, and they start to send it wide into the hands of Shannon Evans, who looks and steps and goes over the line for Australia as they score their first try of the game in the first minute of this game.
Excellent work there. The pressure came from the kickoff. Nice high kick. Good chase by the Australian team. A little fumble there from Samoa. Got the ball back into the Aussie hands and got them sending on their way in a good attacking position.
I'll give it to Australia. They've definitely been working on their ball skills over the last few weeks, because the way that they're shifting the ball around the field is just seamless at the moment. And it's just a credit to how far women's rugby is coming, because 7's did not look like this a few years ago, that's for sure. As Lucy Lockhart looks to send the ball down range again into the hands of Samoa. Looks for a long kick this time. Samoa look to pass it off out the back. Bit of a stutter step there as they take it into contact, and Australia are right over in the ruck there, contesting it, putting the pressure on Samoa as they take the ball up and start to send it to the centre of the field. Bit of a fumble there by Samoa, and Australia scoop the ball back up into the hands of Nicola Emsley, who looks to go wide, shifted out onto the wing. As Australia scoop the ball up again. And Lucy Lockhart takes the ball up, looking for the space there as she finds it, and she takes it all the way through for Australia for their second try of the day.
Excellent work there. They're playing advantage for the knockdown from Samoa. Nice straight running through the gap. Another 5-pointer. Good work.
Australia, they're just proving to be a little bit too tricky, and you can see that in their experience out there as well. I mean, Lucy Lockhart, who just scored that try, she's been around the rugby circuit for a long, long time. She's been playing 15s and 7s for quite a few years now. She's also played rugby league for Australia, so she's definitely got a lot of experience behind her.
Another successful conversion, 14-0 right off the start. Excellent start from Australia.
As Lucy Lockhart looks to send the ball down range again, she looks for a long ball. Samoa just letting it bounce a little bit there as Australia rush up into fence. A little bit of a chip kick over the top there as Lucy Lockhart's chasing it, scoops the ball up. Looks to shift the ball over to Nicola Emsley, who takes the ball into contact again, and she's got two big Samoan girls on top of her. But as the ball is sent out wide again, and Australia find the gap and they make it through, and they scoot through all of the Samoan defence as they look to get over the line for their third try of the game. They are unstoppable.
Excellent work there. It's really important, like you can see, being able to deal with the pressure. Samoans put a bit of pressure on there, got the ball back all the way to the half line, but then nice clean hands from the Australians. Good straight run through the middle of the pitch and another try.
Australia are doing a really good job of finding the gaps here in the Samoan defence. So if Samoa want to be able to stop them, they really need to start tightening up their defensive line, especially out there on the wing where they seem to be exposed quite a lot. Shannon Evans converts another try. Australia make their way back as they look to kick off again. Lucy sends it high into the hands of Samoa, who take it into the Australian defence there. As Samoa shift the ball to the centre of the field, trying to make some metres as the ruck is formed, and Brooke Moslin starts to cause some havoc in that ruck space there.
Yeah, Samoa just penalised there for playing the ball on the ground after the ruck's been formed. So, once the ruck's been formed and the ball's been contested, the player on the ground can't play the ball. Excellent run from Australia, making the most of that overlap on the left.
That was a great effort there by Nicola Emsley, who looked to spill the ball a little bit but managed to regain it and get over the line again for another try for Australia as Shannon Evans sets up the ball as she looks to convert another try. That is another successful conversion to Shannon Evans.
Dominant display early by the Australians. Try scored there by number 4 Nicola Emsley. The Aussies 28, Samoa.
Shannon Evans coming off the field now. Lucy Lockhart kicking off again as she sends it high. She sends it deep into the hands of Samoa. Pick the ball up and look for some support, but Australia all over them in defence. Lucy Lockhart, big tackle there, but the ruck is formed. Samoa take the ball out the back as they kick the ball to try and find some space and take the pressure off them. But Laura Fletcher is heading down the back there as she scoops the ball up. Looks to find the space as she works her way down the centre of the field. Offloads the ball.
Unfortunate little forward pass there as they were coming back with a counter-attack. That's good work by Samoa. They need to try and turn the Australians to actually get some field possession here. So that was an excellent job there, and they got a bit of reward there with an attack on the halfway.
That was some good pressure there by Samoa as well. And Australia, they're just all over them in defence, and kicking the ball down range was a really great idea for them. Takes the pressure off them, gives them some opportunities, and they were able to get up in Australia's faces there while they had the ball in hand and managed to force the mistake. So now it is a scrum and it's Samoa's ball. So hopefully this gives them a little bit of opportunity here.
Big scrum by the Australians. Turnover there. Fantastic.
The ball is spread to the right-hand side of the field into the hands of Mary Yaku, who... Bit of a messy ball there, but a good... Bit of a mistake there by Australia as the ball is handed back over to the Samoans as we go into another scrum and another opportunity for Samoa. Samoa look to feed the ball. Ball out the back, hands it off. Looks to spread the ball wide. Takes it into the contact. Australia really strong in that contact, but Samoa offload the ball again as they head to the far left-hand side of the field, trying to get away from the Australian defence, but they managed to get them down to the ground. Ball comes out again. Samoa look to take the ball off the back of the ruck.
Tackle not rolling away there. Quick penalty Samoa, and they go quick straight up the middle. They got a bit of an overlap on the left-hand side here. If they clear this ball off the tackle, they should be able to go pretty well.
Samoa take the ball and they send it out. And Australia rush up in defence, start to put some pressure on, but Samoa get the ball away again. If they can just start to get the ball out to the left-hand side, they might find some space as they do have a little bit of an overlap here. They start to run backwards as Brooke Moslin puts a lot of pressure on the Samoans as the ball flies out the back and Lucy Lockhart kicks it away. And it's a foot race, but Australia unfortunately miss the ball and Samoa get over the top of it.
There you go, just caught in the back alone. No one there to support her. Held onto the ball. Penalty to Australia for holding on. A quick tap there and another try.
That was some really good vision there by Australia and quick thinking by Lucy Lockhart to take that quick tap and just streak away from the Samoan side. That was some really great play, though, by both sides. Samoa are really starting to find their groove in this game and start to put some really good physical pressure on the Australian side as Lucy Lockhart looks to convert her own try, and she gets it through the sticks as both teams work their way back to the centre of the field. And that is the first half of the Australia v Samoa game. And Australia is currently sitting at 35 points and Samoa are yet to score. Ian, what did you think of that first half? I thought it was amazing by Australia.
Yeah, that was a solid effort. You could obviously tell the girls are good experience in the team. They know how to keep the composure. They got a bit looser towards the end there with the passing, but all in all, Australia, excellent pressure, excellent skills, and it shows in the scoreboard.
So we'll just have a quick minute break here at half-time. Samoa definitely starting to build over in that first half, though. Bit of nerves probably, as it is the first game for them for this two-day tournament of the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's. This is the first time that the Defence Women's rugby tournament has been played, and specifically aimed at Pacific Island countries. So thank you for joining us for wherever you are in the world for 2 days of amazing women's rugby. We've got teams from all over the Pacific, from New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, Fiji and Vanuatu. The first game of the morning was played by the Solomon Islands and the Cook Islands, and the Solomon Islands took away the win 24-0 over the Cook Islands. And if you've just joined us, we've got the Australia v Samoa game going on at the moment. Australia leading 35-0. As the two teams are just finishing up at their halftime break. And Samoa are looking to kick off this time. Australia is starting to set themselves up across the field.
Excellent opener there from Australia in the first half. It's a big ask for Samoa with the nerves of the competition and playing a big team like Australia starting straight out the gates. So hopefully they can find a bit of composure here and come back nice and strong in the second half.
Samoa send the ball down wide, caught by the Australian side, spread to the centre as they look to go all the way to the left-hand side of the field into the hands of Mary Yaku, who looks to find the space, and God, she's fast as she takes off down the wing, manages to get away from the Solomon defence as she makes her way over for the first try of the second half for Australia.
Yeah, great job there by Australia from the kickoff, spotting the gap on the left, the overlap, spreading it wide, and then some good pace there to take it in for a try.
Australia just proving again that they've got a lot of experience, a lot of skill and a lot of speed in their side. And Rugby Sevens in Australia is constantly growing. Ever since the Australian women's sevens teams came back from the Olympics with that gold medal, rugby in Australia has just grown. And you can see that in the experience and the skill that's out there on the field today as Australia look to kick the ball down range again. The Solomon Islands are starting to spread themselves out as Australia kick the ball deep into that right-hand pocket, and the Samoa take the ball up into contact with a big run there as they look to offload the ball quickly, and a big run there up the centre of the field as they look to muscle their way up the field. Great defence there by Australia. Samoa with the ball in hand again. Australia putting some great pressure in defence as Samoa look to kick the ball away just to get some pressure away. Australia collect the ball. And a good little ankle tap there by Samoa.
A slight little knock on there on the ankle tap. That was lucky by Samoa. She got it just in time. Australia had a nice overlap on the right-hand side, so yeah, lucky.
Bit of an injury down there on the field for Samoa as the medics go out onto the field just to check that she's all right. Medics look like they're going to take the Samoa player off the field. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain at the moment. As the crowd start to clap her off, they scoop her up and carry her off the field. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, it was good work there just before the kick from Samoa. They managed to deal with the pressure, keep the ball in hand, which is important in Rugby 7. So it's a quick changing game, and having possession of the ball is crucial as they go off the scrum here, and good pressure for Australia again.
Samoa with the ball, looking for some space as they take off down the side there, but managed to offload the ball again as they take it into contact, and she's all alone, but there's four Australian players over the top of her as she keeps going.
Oh, beautiful run. Unfortunately spills the ball just towards the touchline there. Yeah. That was an excellent job. Good work by Australia to keep that under control. Good work, Samoa.
Unfortunately for Samoa, they've had a few ball insecurity moments today. I guess that's going to happen when you run with the ball on your hip. As we look to have a line out. as Australia are throwing in. Ball in, Shannon Evans up in the air. They pop the ball off the top and start to send the ball wide. As they do a bit of a switch in the middle there, look for some space, and Samoa are all over them and take Australia down to the ground as they take the ball out the back of the ruck, send it to the wing again. Look to make the contact, and Australia find the space again as she works her way through the defence and just streaks away for another try.
Excellent work there. Good ball control there. Looks like she was going to offload to the wing there to go for the side. But good step inside. Bring it back into the centre of the field. Excellent try.
Seeing some great rugby sevens out here today from Australia and Samoa. Australia just proving to be a little bit too classy for the Samoan team today, but that's okay because it's only their first game of the day and they still have another 2 games to play. Each game is going to play 3 games on day 1 of the Pacific Military Cup 7's.
Yeah, that's right. Australia pretty comfortable at the moment, 47-0 lead. I'm sure they're just working through their processes and systems for when they play some of the more stronger competition, perhaps like our neighbours, New Zealand and so forth.
So Australia look to kick the ball high. Samoa take the ball spills out the side there. Is scooped up by the Samoan player, who's big player, makes a good run, good leg drive, but is taken down by Brooke Moslin. The ruckus forms, ball spills out the back as the Samoan player takes it up by herself, and the pressure is on there in defence for Australia. But Samoa take the ball into the defence again. They take the ball, look to spread it wide, but there's nobody out there. Australian defence is strong, but Samoa are good with their offloads at the moment. The ball pops out the back, but unfortunately, a bit of a knock on there by Samoa, and Australia get the ball back in hand.
Samoa doing really well to keep the ball in hand. They're just struggling a bit to get a bit of forward momentum to just break the line of defence there. But excellent effort and good defence by Australia.
What I'd like to see by Samoa is for them to form their ruck and slow the ball down a little bit. I know that's not necessarily what you want with rugby sevens all the time, but for them just to form their attacking line, I think it'd be really great for them as Samoa take the ball out the back of the scrum, look to find the space, head towards the left-hand wing, but are taken down by the Australian side. The ball comes out the back as they look to send the ball to the centre of the field, try and find them space. She runs sideways and backwards as they look to head towards the right wing again and then head into the centre of the field. But the Australian defence is strong and they're not giving Samoa much room to move forward. Samoa seem to be going backwards at the moment. I really would like to see them punch the ball forward and just take that contact instead of going for those offloads as Australia kicks the ball deep and Amy Carpenter takes off to scoop the ball up, and another try for Australia.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent pressure by Australia. They just kept on them until they made the error. Got the little kick through and a good little chase unhindered to the try line. Excellent job.
As Amy Carpenter looks to convert her own try and is successful with that conversion, which now takes Australia to 54-0 lead over Samoa. And that's it. We are at the end of the game for the Australia v Samoa. So wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining us. Australia beats Samoa 54-0. That was a great game there by Australia. Really strong start for them. Samoa definitely easing into the game a little bit, but they're showing us that they have some really great skill. And, just throughout the day, I think they're going to start to get a lot better. Now that they've got those first game nerves out of the way, Australia definitely playing very strong, showing off their skill and their strength in contact and in attack, their ability to spread the ball wide and find the gaps. Well done to Australia, and thank you for joining us for wherever you are in the world today watching this live stream. as we take a break before we come into the third game of the day.
Vanuatu and Fiji.
Vanuatu, Fiji.
Hello and welcome back to the third game of the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's. I am your commentator Molly Gray and I'm joined here by my co-commentator Ian Beaton for the day as we get ready for the Vanuatu Fiji game.
Hoping to see some good hands here from Fiji, synonymous with their men's rugby sevens team, who we all know is one of the premier teams in the men's rugby sevens comp around the world. During training, the girls showed they got some excellent hands, so hopefully we get some good plays out of this one.
As Fiji look to get ready for the kickoff. As we're about to get underway, Vanuatu signalling that they are ready for the game to begin. And Fiji kick the ball off nice and deep into the hands of Vanuatu, who shift the ball out onto that right wing, shift it again back to the centre of the field. They're going quite laterally at the moment. And Fiji managed to scoop the ball up. Bit of a knock on there by Vanuatu, and it is Fiji's ball as we look to get ready for a scrum.
Yeah, so not only do we have the players representing some of our neighbours to the north, the referee currently represented by Samoa comes over with the team, and it's a good opportunity for them to get some ref time overseas and in something as significant as a nice comp like this as well.
As Fiji put the ball in, the ball comes out of the back of the scrum, and it is as they take off and try and find the space there as they scoot through the Vanuatu's defence, and they're taken down by Vanuatu, and the ruck is formed. Fiji scoop the ball up and put it out to the right-hand side of the field as they manage to muscle their way over the try line there, and the first try of the game goes to Fiji.
Good defence there by Vanuatu. Fiji just too good. Keep going to the blind side. A lot of pressure. Good hands and good clear out from the rucks, and a first try of the game.
Looks like we're in for quite a good game as Fiji convert. These two teams looking quite even at the moment, as Fiji make their way back to the centre of the field and get ready to kick off to Vanuatu. Vanuatu look like they're getting ready for a bit of a deep kick.
And try number one in this contest. Fiji lead 7, Portsea.
Fiji ready to kick off as they send the ball just past the 10 metre into the hands of Vanuatu, who unfortunately spill the ball, and the ball goes back to Fiji, and we'll get ready for a scrum.
Yeah, that's it there. She saw that there wasn't much defence on the short kick, so she sent it nice and short. Excellent chase and good pressure by the Fijians. Forced an error from there. Now they've got a nice attacking scrum near the 22 metre line, and from here it's pretty much open play.
Fiji getting ready, getting nice and low. They look to have a very strong scrum as they pick the ball up out the back and send it. They start to head to the left-hand side of the field, and the ball is shifted out onto the wing, and they found the space and they take off, and they manage to get around the Vanuatu defence, and Fiji is over the line again.
Yeah, good work there. It all started with a nice strong scrum. From there the ball went left. Good running, straight running from the on the wings, and yeah, second try to Fiji. Good work so far.
Conversion successful for Fiji, and the score now sits 14-0 to Fiji. And we're ready for the kickoff again, and Fiji go for another short kick. Vanuatu, unfortunately, not close enough to the 10-metre line as Fiji collect the ball, take it back up as they head down the centre of the field, look to offload and head into contact there. Manage to make their way through, find a gap, palm somebody out of the way, and go over for their third try of the game today.
Beautiful play there. Favourable bounce off the kickoff. Got the ball straight into hands. Straight running into the centre of the pitch. Good load off there from the tackle, and then a nice fend at the end there to finish it off. Another successful conversion there. A good start by the Fijians, 21-0.
Fiji just proving to be the dominant side in today's game as they kick the ball deep into the centre this time, and it's caught by Vanuatu, who look to take the ball to the centre, but unfortunately just a bit of unsteady hands there as Fiji take the ball again, and they go into contact, look for the offload, look to spread it to the left-hand side of the field into the hands of the number 7. But unfortunately, a bit of a knock-on there for Fiji, and the ball will go back into the hands of Vanuatu, who are now in with a really good opportunity to hopefully create some more opportunities for themselves in attack here as we go into a scrum. Vanuatu getting ready for the feed. The ball comes out the back as they shift the ball across the field and look to take it to the centre.
offside there, just not getting back far enough on the scrum by the Fijians. Penalty to Vanuatu. It's a good relief. Be able to get the ball out of their half and hopefully get some attacking going.
As Fiji take the ball and start to send it wide out onto the wing there, and Fiji come up and take them down. Vanuatu collect the ball again. Fiji putting the pressure on in defence, and the ball is spilled but picked up by Vanuatu, but unfortunately, due to a knock on there, the ball will go back into the hands of Fiji. As we get ready for another scrum, Fiji are in prime position here as they're spread out across the field quite far. So Vanuatu are going to have to work quite hard here in defence if they want to keep up with this fast Fijian side. As Fiji take the ball on the blind side and manage to muscle their way over for another try.
Yeah, good work there by Fiji. You can see them spreading out nice and wide on the left-hand side with a good deep attacking line. Saw the gap on the blind side and took it. Good job. Turn confidence up.
Another successful conversion there by Fiji as they take the ball back to the centre of the field, getting ready for the kickoff again. Vanuatu are quite deep as they look to catch the ball and take it into contact as Fiji rush up in defence. There's no support there from Vanuatu, but they manage to get the ball back out, spill it out the back there as they just seem to be going backwards a little bit too far here. And that is the end of the first half for the Fiji v Vanuatu game. Fiji currently leading 28-0.
Yeah, brilliant start there by Fiji. Good big tackles. A lot of pressure on Vanuatu. You could see they were trying to do their best to keep the ball in hand, but unfortunately Fiji just too strong in the first half. Vanuatu would want to have a bit of a chat, see how they're going to go about attacking, getting in the Fijian half to hopefully make some opportunity and score a couple of tries in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities out there for Vanuatu. I'd just like to see them with just to hold on to the ball. Ball security is so important here for them.
Yeah, you can also tell that they're obviously not the most experienced team. A lot of them haven't played a lot of footy before today. Their attacking line just a bit too flat. They need to get a bit of depth in there and spread the ball nice and wide. That's a good thing about Rugby 7's. You've got so much space to work with, especially if you've got a couple of flyers on the wing. You can make the most of it.
So welcome to wherever you are. If you are joining us for the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's, which is being held at RMC Royal Military College in Canberra, being run over the 12th and 13th of October. So this two-day tournament is the first Defence Women's Rugby tournament specifically aimed at Pacific Island countries. So this is really great for women's rugby, and there are teams including military and police personnel from countries such as New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, Fiji and Vanuatu. They'll be competing in a round-robin competition, so you have joined us for day one. All teams will be playing 3 games today, as we are in half-time at the moment for the Fiji-Vanuatu game, as this is their first game of the day. And Fiji have come out absolutely flying and showing us that they are definitely a rugby-playing country.
Yeah, good start there by Fiji. Everything you'd expect. Nice, solid tackles. Excellent on the offense. Good hands and offloads, and we've seen a couple of good fends today, which is good to see. The girls getting nice and physical about it.
As the two teams make their way back out onto the field, and Vanuatu will look to kick the ball into the hands of the Fijian side for the second half. And the whistle is blown. The ball is sent nice and deep into the centre of the field with a bit of a bounce there. Another bounce again as Fiji look to collect the ball. Vanuatu putting the pressure on in defence, but the ball is picked up at the back by Fiji as they flick the ball over the top there and look to head down the wing, and there's no defence in sight, and the number 7 for Fiji is able to run away with the ball to get the first try of the second half.
Yeah, excellent job there. She took the head up, drew the defender in, and then got the ball over the side with a nice lob. Lucky it didn't go forward, and then from there, Speeds is on the wing, take it all the way for a try.
The conversion successful there for Fiji. As Fiji, ball in hand, looking to kick it downrange into the hands of Samoa. They go for the short kick this time. Bounces on the 10-metre line and bounces back into... Alrighty, so now the ball goes out and we are getting ready for a line out, and it will be Vanuatu's ball. Really good opportunity here for Vanuatu to get the ball in hand. And Vanuatu getting ready to send the ball in. They send it to the back of the line out there, but
unfortunately not straight there. That was good work there by Fiji. They've obviously got a good system there for putting pressure on the line out, and it pays off with a scrum on the attacking 10.
Pays off to have the tall players too.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
As we get ready for a scrum now, and it's Fiji's feed. They start to spread themselves out on either side of the scrum.
Look for Fiji here to come on the blind side. They've got a player straight behind the ruck. That gives you a good opportunity to run the ball on the blind side. And here we go.
The ball comes straight out the back, and the 9 picks it up and takes it all the way down. It scores another try for Fiji. Really smart move there by the Fijian team for that halfback to see that space off the back of the scrum and be able to take it away for Fiji.
Yeah, that's it. Vanuatu just not picking up on the offensive layout for Fiji there. Made most of it, took out on the blind side, and good speed in there to finish it off.
As Fiji line up now for a bit of a tough kick, as they are on that far left-hand side of the field. So the conversion was unsuccessful for Fiji, which now takes them to 38 points to 0 over Vanuatu. And Fiji get ready to send the ball downrange again. As they send it short to that 10-metre. Fiji come up and unfortunately aren't able to get their hands on the ball. Fiji started to put the pressure on Vanuatu as the ball's on the ground. Bit of a tussle. Fiji managed to pick the ball up, look for some support there, and they find their way through the defensive line, and Fiji are over again for another try.
Excellent work there. They had numbers on the left as well, so they had that option, but found the gap, took a nice step in under the post.
As Fiji get ready to convert right in front of the sticks, and they're successful with that conversion as they head back to the centre of the field to get ready for another kick-off. They are all over this Vanuatu team today.
Building a real good lead here now, 45-0 to Fiji. Excellent work on defence, excellent work on offence. They're doing really good in their opening game.
And Vanuatu are set up about 10 metres behind that 10-metre line at the moment. As Fiji send the ball to the right-hand side of the field. Vanuatu, bit messy hands there. Good pressure there by Fiji as they...
not releasing the ball there. Once you get tackled, got to place the ball back. Good pressure by Fiji. Good knowledge of the game there, getting on the ball nice and quickly. Turnover in the 22.
Fiji now go for the quick tap and they send it to the centre of the field and they start to look to... No, she takes it up the middle. And Fiji over for another try.
Yeah, good work there. Making use of the ball, nice and quick tap. Again, had the numbers on the left. Just makes the defence think a bit about what they have to do. Saw the gap, took the run straight up, and another good try by Fiji.
And another successful conversion there by Fiji. Fiji send the ball down range again. Vanuatu letting it bounce a couple of times. They have to chase it all the way back to 10 metres outside that try line. They look to spread the ball to the left-hand side of the field. They're trying to find some space, but Fiji get the ball in hand again and manage to scoot through the defence, and they're over again for another try.
Yeah, good work there. Again, the pressure, forcing the pass. Fiji gets the intercept. Nice little fend there to finish it off, and another 5-pointer.
Fiji converting their try again. Successful conversion there, which now takes the score to 59-0. Fiji v Vanuatu. As we send the ball down range again into the hands of Vanuatu, who let the ball bounce, but they collect it up and they send it in. They go in for contact, flick the ball out the side. Good pressure there by Fiji, but unfortunately she tackled one of the Vanuatu players without the ball, so now Vanuatu have an opportunity here.
Yeah, that was good work off the kickoff there. I think she might not have seen the ball rolling around behind the Vanuatu player, and so she just laid the shoulder in there without the ball. Penalty to Vanuatu. As
Vanuatu set themselves up for a tap. And they take the ball into contact, but flick it out the back and start to send it through the hands. And bit of messy ball here. Bit of a knock on there by Vanuatu as the ref blows the final whistle for the Fiji-Vanuatu game, and the game stands 59 points to 0. Fiji taking out the third game of the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's. So thank you for joining us wherever you are. I am your commentator Molly Gray, and I'm joined here today by Ian Beaton. So thank you for joining us as we get ready for the fourth game of the day. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with you soon.
Of Tonga and
again to Tonga. New Zealand sending the ball down range again. Bit of a high kick as Tonga tried to get their hands on the ball. They managed to get their hands on the ball, start to spread it wide as they offload again. And take it up. They're taken down by the New Zealand side. The ruck is formed. Not releasing is the call as Tonga go for the quick tap. Offload the ball there. Bit of a fend. Ball comes out the side. Bit of a knock on there by Tonga, unfortunately, and the ball will go back into the hands of New Zealand as both teams start to get ready for a scrum.
Yeah, that was good work there. Tonga coming strong on the counter attack there, off a New Zealand mistake. Just trying to force the pass at the end there, forcing a little knock on there. It's better sometimes just to take the ball, get nice possession, and then set up the back so they can go again.
New Zealand's feed into the scrum as the ball comes out the back and New Zealand go for the blind side. Bit of a stutter step there as she tries to work her way around the Tongan defence. Tries to put the fend on but is taken down by Tonga. Unfortunately in a high tackle, so the penalty will go to New Zealand as they set themselves up for a tap. And the ball is sent out to the number 9 in Hatuna and sent out far to the wing there. It's spilled out the back. Bit of loose ball here, but picked up again by Hutana, who takes off down the right-hand wing. Bit of a stutter step again there. Manages to work her way around the Tongan defence and get over the line for another try for New Zealand.
Yeah, good work there. Spread the ball nice and wide off the penalty. A bit of a fumble there in the tackle, but good work to go around the blind side, make the most of it, and then an excellent little finish there with a step off the right foot.
As Hutana looks to convert her own try with a successful conversion. They've got the wind in their favour here as it's starting to pick up here at RMC. Bit of a chilly day here in Canberra. New Zealand getting ready to kick off again. Hutana with the ball. She's been kicking brilliantly for New Zealand today as she sends the ball high and deep. And Tonga take the ball as she takes off down the left-hand side of the field away from New Zealand. She's got two New Zealand players hot on her tail. And it's a foot race here. And New Zealand managed to they just get her down in front of the line. If only she'd reached out and she would have got over that try line. But it is Tonga's ball. They go for the quick tap, spread it. Look to offload the ball again as they're right on the line and they manage to get over.
Oh, beautiful work. Made the most there of the gaining possession on the left field there. New Zealand not letting go of the tackler. Quick penalty, quick tap. Nice strong running as she rolls over for Tonga's first try.
Oh, Tonga are going to be happy with that one. That was some brilliant work there on that far left-hand wing as the Tongan player found the space, and it was that foot race. I loved it. The two New Zealand players taking off after her and just showing their commitment and their want to get that try, which is good for Tonga now. They've got some points on the board, which is going to help them with their confidence.
Yeah, that was good work there. You could see they learned from the previous kickoffs, putting a player back on the left-hand side of the fence in the 22 for that kick to the right deep corner. From there, nice clean take out of the air and then a dash off to the sideline. Excellent work by Tonga there, them to kick off.
And Tonga sending the ball down range deep into the centre of the field, caught by the New Zealand's players. Hutana kicks the ball and sends it down range, and as she flies after her own ball, she manages to pick the ball up but spills it a little bit there. And it's a knock-on by New Zealand. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough call there, the knock-on. I reckon the Tongan player might have had some hand on it there, but excellent pressure, good little chip and chase.
As the ref blows the whistle for half-time. So if you are just joining us, we're going into half-time of the fourth game of the day. Tonga versus New Zealand. And the score is currently 19-5 to New Zealand. So going into half-time. If you're just joining us, welcome to the inaugural Pacific Military Cup Sevens. This is the first time that Defence Women's Rugby Tournament has been played specifically aimed at Pacific military countries. And we've got teams from military and police forces from around the Pacific. So we've got teams playing in this 2-day tournament from countries such as New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, Fiji and Vanuatu. So you are definitely in for a brilliant 2 days of Rugby Sevens. We're playing a round-robin competition. So all teams will play 3 games on day 1 today, and we've had some great games so far, with the Cook Islands taking on the Solomon Islands in the first game, and the Solomon Islands taking out that game. Australia v Samoa for the second game, Australia taking out that game. And then we had Fiji and Vanuatu for the third game of the day, Fiji coming away with that win. And you are now joining us for the fourth game, which is New Zealand v Tonga, and it is a great game so far, and definitely not over. New Zealand came out firing in that first half, showing their skill and their power and their speed, but Tonga getting a try late in the first half, which is going to be really good for them because it's going to help build their confidence going into the second half as New Zealand are getting ready to kick off to Tonga. As New Zealand send the ball high and deep into the hands of Tonga as she gets around her on the wing there, taken down as the ruck forms. But the pressure from the New Zealand defence takes the Tongan player out. And we're now getting set up for a line out, New Zealand to throw in.
Yeah, just caught offside there for the start of the second half. She was still making her way onto the pitch, and then the ball was coming her way. Bit of pressure quickly there by New Zealand. Forced the error into the sideline and a quick line-out throw.
Good pressure there by the Tongan defence, and New Zealand take the ball, send it out the back, look to send it to the centre of the field. The ball makes its way through the hands of the New Zealand team out onto the far left-hand wing as New Zealand take off and get around the Tongan defence and manage to get over for another try. Bit of a high reach out there, attempted tackle by the Tongan side, but New Zealand just able to muscle their way over the line there.
Yeah, that's it. Lucky to get away with that one there. New Zealand did well there, drawing in the defence in the centre field and then finally sending it to the wingers there for a quick little run into the corner post. Big conversion here from the sideline. Rugby Sevens drop kick following the tries can get a bit challenging, especially days like today where we've got a bit of wind kicking around.
Unsuccessful conversion there by the New Zealand side. And the score is currently 24-5 to New Zealand as they make their way back to the centre of the field. And Hutana, the kicker for the New Zealand side, setting up to send the ball high and down range into the hands of Tonga, who take the ball into contact straight away. And not releasing. New Zealand not releasing is the call. Tonga have an opportunity here with a quick tap. Unfortunately for Tonga, on the tap there, she didn't release the ball from her foot, so the ball now goes back into the hands of the New Zealand side, and they have an opportunity here with a scrum.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Silly little error. Gets New Zealand back the advantage with an attacking scrum now. On the right-hand side of the pitch here, look for New Zealand to spread it left, trying to draw in some of that centre defence and then using the speed they've got on the wings. Beautiful turnover there in the scrum. Ref's not happy with it, unfortunately. Oh, no.
Now the ball was kicked out by the Tongan player before it was really sent in, so actually I don't know what that call was. Then if the ball now is Tongan gets the ball as they ball in hand, they take it into contact. Good strong contact there as they throw the ball out the back. And the New Zealand managed to scoop the ball up, But unfortunately, a bit of a knock-on there by New Zealand, and the ball goes back into the hands of the Tongan players. Another opportunity for Tonga.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Tonga had a nice backline set up there on that play. Just couldn't get the clean ball out, and almost intercepted there by New Zealand. Knock-on scrum to Tonga.
Tonga have got a good opportunity here. Hopefully they just need to hold on to that ball, muscle their way up the field. The ball is taken by the scrum half as she tries to get around that New Zealand defence, and it looks like she has. And she sends the ball back in, but it's scooped up by the New Zealand players. As she finds the space, gets around the defence there. She's got plenty of room in front of her, and she gets around the Tongan defence, looks to pass the ball to the number 14 in Maya, who takes off down the right-hand side wing and gets over for another try to New Zealand.
Excellent end-to-end play there. Tonga with a nice little run on the blind side. Unfortunately, just could not make the pass stick with good New Zealand chase there. And then all the way back to the other side of the pitch. That's excellent. Rugby 7's at its best.
It's been the theme for Tonga all day, unfortunately. Every time they get the ball in hand, they've got some really great opportunities, but they just manage to fumble the ball and just giving away the ball unnecessarily and back into the hands of New Zealand. And New Zealand are just so fast and skilled that they're proving why they are winning today's game, as the score currently sits at 29-5 as we're in the final minutes of this game. Hutana getting ready for the kickoff again. Unfortunately for New Zealand there, the ball took a bit of a wrong turn and didn't even manage to make it over that halfway line. So it is now Tonga's ball.
Classic shank off the kickoff. You haven't experienced rugby if you haven't seen one of those bad boys before. So good opportunity here for Tonga now. Let's see if they can make the most of it. They've been doing well so far. Just the odd little mistakes that gives New Zealand the advantage.
As the ball comes out the back of the ruck for Tonga, and she starts to work her way up the field there, and she manages to push the New Zealand defence out of the way and goes over the line. Tonga to score another try.
Excellent work. Classic, straight, strong running. Gives a little fend there to get through the defence and scores under the post. Good try by Tonga there.
This is exactly what the Tongan team needed. They just need some more points on the board.
Smashes the conversion into the crossbar. Unfortunately, no points there. New Zealand 29, Tonga 10.
So New Zealand are looking to take the win for this game. We've only got a couple of minutes left in this game, I would assume. But yeah, Tonga definitely showing that they're competitive throughout this game today. Just need a little bit of time, a little bit of space, a little bit of muscle as they send the ball deep into New Zealand's attack. As New Zealand have the ball and they start to take it to the centre of the field, she manages to get around the first Tongan defence. Second Tongan defensive player manages to just get her down on the ground as the ruck is formed. And New Zealand take the ball and send it to the right-hand side, working it through the hands out onto the wing into the hands of number 5, Nathan, who streaks down the wing, manages to get the Tongan player out of the way, but number 12 comes in and takes her out from behind.
Player not rolling away there. Quick tap by New Zealand. Sends it inside. No Tongan defence. And there they go. Another try under the post.
As Kantz goes in for another try for New Zealand. New Zealand are in a really good position here to be able to convert this try. It shouldn't be too hard for them as they set themselves up. And Hutana slots the ball through the sticks, and the ref calls the final whistle for the New Zealand-Tonga game. Thank you for joining us for wherever you are today. And that takes us to the end, 36-10 to New Zealand. What a great game we've seen so far today.
Yeah, that was some good stuff there. Tonga did a good job there. Got a couple of tries on the board. New Zealand, unfortunately, just too strong. A bit more skill and a bit more composure with the ball, and a couple of fast runners on the wing. But Tonga did real well in their opener here at the Pacific Military Rugby Comp.
Thank you for joining us for wherever you are today. And that is the New Zealand-Tonga game, and we're getting ready now for the 5th game of the day. Actually, my mistake. We're about to go into a break for a little bit. So thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world for the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's. And we'll take a short break. And we'll be back at 11 o'clock for the Australia-Cook Island game. We'll see you soon. Hello and welcome back to the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's as we get underway for the Australia v Cook Islands game. Now, Australia coming off a win earlier today. Cook Islands unfortunately haven't been able to secure a win yet, but they've got 3 games that they'll be playing today, and this is the second game for both of these teams. As Australia get ready to send the ball down range into the hands of the Cook Islands, and it's a high ball there, ball bounces, and unfortunately a little bit of a knock on there by the Cook Islands as Australia get the ball back, and we set up for the first scrum of the game. Welcome to wherever you are today as we have a 2-day tournament for the Pacific Military Cup 7's, the first defence women's rugby tournament specifically aimed at Pacific Island countries. Got a couple of countries here with us today, countries such as New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, as the ball spills out the back of the scrum and Lucy Lockhart looks to send the ball into the hands of Australia. Take off, and the massive gap there in the defensive line as the number 9 for Australia in Georgia Bradbury is able to streak through for the first try of the game there. Cook Islands making it a little bit too easy for the Australian side. So, like I was saying, there's a lot of countries here today, and we've got teams including military and police personnel. We've got Vanuatu, Fiji, Solomon Islands, and they'll all be participating in a round-robin competition. So they'll be playing 3 games each today as we're going into Australia and the Cook Islands' second game of the day. Australia with a successful conversion, which takes them to 7 points. And Cook Islands are yet to score as Lucy Lockhart sets herself up for the kickoff as she sends it nice and deep into the Cook Islands half. They let it bounce a little bit there, and Australia looked like they just flicked the ball back inside there as the ball, bit messy ball on the ground there, but Australia managed to get the ball. Bit of a knock on though, and the ball will go to the Cook Islands and a scrum is formed. Cook Islands looking to feed the ball in. Really good opportunity for them here as they haven't been able to get the ball in hand too much at the moment. Australia really great with their rush defence.
Yeah, the Cook Islands got to be careful here. Make sure they get a nice clean take off the kickoff. Australia, heaps of quick players. They'll be on them straight after the kickoff, so it's really important for them to take the ball nice and clean. With a bit of a high tackle there by Australia, penalty quick tap by the Cook Islands, and solid defence. Good double hit.
Oh my God, that was amazing as the Cook Islands take the ball back into contact, and Brooke Moslin goes over to try and get the ball, but unlucky there for her. The Solomon Islands try to get a kick out of the way, but unfortunately they weren't, but will take the ball back.
Yeah, penalty to Cook Island there. Australia just offside in the defence. Cook Islands trying to put a kick out. Unfortunately, not a good connection there, but they get a bit of relief with a penalty here, and they're going for the line out.
Didn't get many metres on that kick there, but it is their throw into the line out. They look like they've got some tall players there, so hopefully this is a good decision by them because they really need to get the ball in hand if they want to start getting some opportunities in this game. The ball goes in, but unfortunately it's not straight, and it is Australia's ball.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. The Cook Islands would have loved to be able to take that ball off the line out and get out of their 22. But it's not to be. Tricky line-outs in Rugby 7s. They're a bit more one-on-one than the traditional 15s aside where you got a couple more jumpers. So Australia in a good position here on their 20, on the attacking 22.
The ball comes out the back into the hands of Lucy Lockhart, who sends it out as they look to spread it wide. As Georgia Bradbury takes the ball up and sends the ball out wide. And Australia are able to go over again for another try, and that is a try to Courtney Frankel.
Yeah, good work there by Australia. Just spread the ball left through the hands, and then a nice little step there to get the defender offside, and a quick run in under the post. Excellent job.
Alrighty, so that's a successful conversion there by Australia, which takes the score 14-0 as Lucy Lockhart gets ready to send the ball down range into the Cook Islands' hands. Good take there by the Cook Islands as she tries to muscle her way into the contact, but Australia look to hold the Cook Islands player up as she sends the ball. Flicks the ball out, and a good run there by the Cook Islands, and great defence there by Brooke Moslin, but unfortunately holding on. So the Cook Islands take a quick tap, look to send the ball wide as she goes into contact by herself, and Australia not contesting that ruck, and Cook Islands trying to send the ball out, but unfortunately a bit of a knock on there, so Australia get the ball back.
Yeah, a bit of a fumble there on the pass. Good pressure by Australia. So obviously opted there to not contest for the ball, set up the defensive line and just keep a nice solid defence. And it paid off, so Australia scrum.
Australia's attacking line are set up out the back there as Lucy Lockhart sends the ball into the hands of Nicola Emsley. The ball goes backwards as Emsley takes off and goes to the centre of the field, spreads it out to Lucy Lockhart, who takes off down the left wing, looks to pass the ball as they switch back inside to Courtney Frankel, who finds the space and heads straight for the centre of the sticks, and Australia get their third try of the game.
Yeah, that was good work there. You could see Lucy talking on the run. Good communication. Nice cut back into the centre of the field. No defence and an easy try for Australia. Successful conversion there by Australia. That's 21 to Australia, and a no score yet for the Cook Islands.
And the ref now calls the half-time whistle for the Cook Islands v Australia game. So the score is sitting 21-0 to Australia. So thank you for joining us for wherever you are for the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's, a two-day tournament that includes military and police personnel from all over the Pacific. So thank you for joining us. We've got a great game on our hands here with Australia and the Cook Islands. Australia proving to us that they are definitely just a little bit more skilled, a little bit faster, and they've got a really good knack of being able to shift the ball around. You can see that the Australian Defence Force team have put a lot of effort into their 7's program over the last few months and over the last few years, actually, as 7's has come a long way in the military. So thank you for joining us. We've got some great games coming up today. So after this game today at 11:20, the Solomon Islands will be taking on Samoa. After that, Tonga, Vanuatu, Fiji and New Zealand, and then we'll take a short break after that for lunch. So we've got a few more games for you this morning, which are going to be very exciting. As the ref now blows the whistle to get underway for the second half. So, Ian, what do you think Cook Islands have to do if they want to get some points on the board today?
Yeah, look, it's pretty hard. The Australians, they've got a well set up defence, and they've obviously played a fair amount of footy together before. Cook Islands, though, they've got a nice couple of big players in there, probably playing some just off the ruck, a couple of strong girls running up the centre of the pitch. I reckon we'll get them. I'm sure at the moment they would just love to get some points on the board to stick it back to Australia a bit, but good effort so far. They've had a couple of unfortunate bounces and unlucky plays, but hopefully the Cookies can come back in the second half and get some points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Cook Islands kick off over to Australia as the ball is taken by Shania Allen. Big forward play here as she takes the contact, and she takes it well as the ball is taken out the back and passed through the hands of Lucy Lockhart to Bradbury to Mosman. Bit of a spill there, but Moslin collects the ball and looks to find the space, and she's found it in the Cook Islands defensive line, but they've slowed her down a little bit there, and she's thrown the ball straight into the hands of the Cook Islands as they now get the ball. And they're taking the contact there. Australian defence putting the pressure on the Cook Islands. And the Australian player not rolling away. So the Cook Islands now have a great opportunity here as they slow it down with the tap. Look to go left, look to go right, send the ball left. Running a bit laterally, running a little bit backwards here. Courtney Frankel with the tackle. Solomon Islands sending the ball out, taking the ball up to the centre of the field, but not managing to make any metres, unfortunately. Just proving that Australia have some really great defence. Cook Islands, holding onto the ball, so it's now Australia's ball. Another opportunity for them. Lucy Lockhart in control here. As she goes for the tap, Australia is setting up for that. Lucy Lockhart taking the ball up. As the ball is then switched into Emsley, who then sends the ball out to Shania Allen with a big run there as the ruck is formed, taken by Lucy Lockhart, looks to go out to Courtney Frankel, but takes it herself and goes over the line again for Australia. Another try to the Australian team.
Yeah, good play there. Obviously a well-rehearsed set play piece. Australia coming off with a try there. Cook Islands, though, on the attack, probably need to get the ball running a bit straighter and forward there. A bit of sideways running is never good, especially in a game like Sevens where you've got a lot of space on the pitch, and it's best to make use of that, trying to get the ball forward out of your half is best as well.
Well, that's it, Ian, isn't it? I just want to see the Cook Islands take the ball into contact. They're looking really hesitant as they are whenever they get the ball in hand, and everyone just sort of keeps looking around thinking, you take it. So I just want to see the Cook Islands really just man up against the Australian side and take it into contact and try and get some go forward in their attacking play as Australia are getting ready for the kickoff, and they send the ball deep into the Cook Islands half. They spread the ball. Good defence there by Australia as the ball is taken by Cook Islands. As she goes up and takes it in, the ruck is formed, taken out the back by the Cook Islands again. Goes right as the ball spills out, unfortunately, for the Cook Islands. A bit of a knock on there. So it's Australia's ball again, and we will form a scrum.
Yeah, look, Cook Islands not helping themselves out there, putting extra pressure on them with a couple of handling errors. There was some good running there in that second, third phase there where the guys were going nice and straight, taking it up to the Australians. Broke a couple of tackles, but unfortunately just good pressure by Australia. Forced the turnover, and it's a scrum to Australia. Strong scrum though by the Cook Islands, but clean ball from Australia to the back line. And
the ball goes into the hands of Shannon Evans, who's just come onto the field, who spreads it out to Laura Fletcher, back into Evans. Starts to shift the ball into the middle. Mrs. Moslin. And goes straight through the centre. Goes the number 7 in Gemma. Okay, so Australia over the line again for another try. Cook Islands are just making it a little bit too easy for them today. But Australia with another successful conversion, which takes them to 35 points to 0 over the Cook Islands as we make our way into the final minutes of this second half.
Yeah, that was a good run there. Nice little dummy play to draw the defence, and then a runner coming back at the angles into the centre of the pitch. Nice little offload there and cutting the lines through the Cook Island defence.
As Amy Carpenter kicks the ball deep into the Cook Islands half. And then the Cook Islands go with a return kick. And goes into the hands of Mary as she takes the ball up the centre of the field, running past 5 defenders as she finds the space, and she's got the wheels for it. Sends it all the way to the end. Too easy.
Yeah, bit of sloppy defence there by the Cook Islands. I think they're starting to tire a bit. 7's is a very, very hard game to play. Takes a lot out of you. Loads of running. And I think the Cook Islands are just starting to fatigue a little bit as we come towards the end of the second half here.
Absolutely, and you can see some hands on hips out there from the Cook Island players. So they are definitely feeling the fatigue, and it's starting to show in their defence as the holes are opening up. And Australia are just working their way past all of those players. As the score now sits 42-0. Shannon Evans looking to kick the ball as she sends it into Cook Island's half as they take it into the contact. Contact made there by Amy Carpenter as the ball's taken by the Cook Islands. Bit of a slow ball here as she sends it out the back there, and they go up to the centre of the field, make the contact again. Good tackle by Shannon Evans. Ruck is formed, ball is sent out, and they go for a bit of a kick there, but it goes straight into one of the Australian players as they try and work their way into that ruck there. The ball's taken and sent out into the hands of Laura Fletcher, who is looking out to the wing and sends the ball into the hands of Gemma Hook, who goes over the line for another try for Australia.
Yeah, good work there by Australia. Quick little turnover, spread the ball out to the right, and then the over-the-head little lob there to the right to Gemma, and she does well to put it under the post. Conversion, unfortunately, unsuccessful, with Australia leading 47-0.
Alrighty, we're getting underway in the last minute or so in this game. Shannon Evans looking to kick off again, taking the place of Lucy Lockhart there as she sends the ball high into the Cook Islands half. Caught by the Cook Islands, spread into the centre of the field as she works her way laterally across, looking for some support there. But Shannon Evans takes her down, and the ruck is formed. Cook Islands manage to hold on to the ball here as they send it to the left side of the field, try and work their way up the middle. They don't seem to be getting any go forward, and the ball is unfortunately knocked on again by the Cook Islands, and that is the final whistle for the Cook Islands v Australia game. This game goes to Australia, who have come away with a 47-0 win over the Cook Islands. Thank you for joining us for wherever you are. My name is Molly Gray, and I am your commentator for today, and I'm joined by Ian Beaton. Ian, what did you make of that game?
Yeah, another solid performance by Australia, almost making the half-century mark there yet again. Just strong play, excellent setup in their defence and their attack. A couple of good set plays that scored some points for them, and most importantly, just maintaining the pressure on the Cook Islands. The Cook Islands not quite as experienced as the Australian. They did good. They put in a good effort, but Australia coming on top in that game there.
Absolutely, and what a great game that was. Up next, we've got the Solomon Islands taking on Samoa in this Pacific Military Cup 7's as we're working our way through the day.
Solomon Islands here would like to be looking to repeat their first game success with a good win as the opener for today's matches here against Samoa, who's a strong team. Unfortunately, Samoa coming up against Australia in the first round, going down to 54-0 there, but I'm sure Samoa's looking to come back nice and strong against the Solomon Islands.
Absolutely. Solomon Islands definitely put on a really great show for us in their first game of today. And welcome to all of those who are joining us as we make our way into the later games of the day for the Pacific Military Cup 7's. which are being hosted by the Australian Defence Force here in Canberra at the Royal Military College. The first Defence Women's Rugby tournament specifically aimed at Pacific Island countries. And we have teams here which include military and police personnel. We are committed to supporting Pacific Island countries and including them in this tournament, which has just been absolutely great for women's rugby. Spreading the word of women's rugby and building the rugby community, which is great to see as the Solomon Islands make their way out onto the field. All right, we're about to get underway for the next game as the Solomon Islands gear up to kick the ball into the hands of Samoa. And the ball just making it that 10 metres. But it's the number 4 that takes it for the Solomon Islands, and they managed to get the ball back there.
High tackle there by Samoa on the Solomon Islands. Good job on the kickoff, getting the ball back, going nice and straight back into the centre of the field, forcing the error to Samoa and making some metres.
Oh, some messy ball here, and the first yellow card of the tournament. And that'll be 3 minutes in the bin for, don't know what number that is, but this is not looking good for Samoa as they now only have 6 players on the field, and they're about 10 metres out from their line there as the 12 takes it up in Rima. She's a big, strong player, but the Samoa defence is too good for them. But Solomon Islands back with the ball again, and it's Ningalo who puts the fend on and manages to get over the line and score the first try for the Solomon Islands Samoa game.
Excellent start by the Solis there. Good pressure on Samoa, getting the turnover and then keeping that pressure onto them, forcing 2 penalties. Unfortunately, 2 high tackles in a row. See Samoa lose a player to the bin, and a first 5-pointer for the Solomon Islands.
It's a bit unfortunate there for Samoa. It's definitely not what you want in a game of 7s, especially because there's already only 7 people out there on the field and a ton of space. So that means that Samoa are going to have to work really hard here if they want to get some points on the board within the next 2.5 minutes that their player is going to be sitting on the sideline as the ball is kicked into the hands of Samoa. As they work their way up the centre of the field, and she gets through the defensive line, and they start to make some metres as the number 3 works there. Well, God, she's strong. She gets up there. The ball is handed off again as they look to offload. There's some space out there on the left wing as she sends the ball out to the 10. It's a 1-on-1 here as the ball's offloaded again, and there is some space, but she runs back into traffic, offloads it again. Good defence there by the Solomon Islands. And the ball is put out the back into the ruck and then sent into the centre of the field as they work their way. They're so close. They've got to work hard here if they want to get some points on the board. Solomon Islands with the ball in hand again, and she looks like she's running backwards. Looks for support, can't find any. The ball goes back into the hands of the Solomon Islands now as they have a really great opportunity. And everyone kind of looks like they're standing still here, but Ngalo's got the ball. She sends it out to the wing. And they look for some support again, and the number 4 in Dawo with the ball now as she works her way down the wing here. She's got a good opportunity. She's just got to have the legs to make the distance. Dawo with the ball. And she looks like she's going to get over for the try there for the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, that was an action-backed piece of play. Awesome attack there by Samoa. Nice, strong running by number 3 for Samoa. They're smashing through the tackles. Solomon Islands, though, maintained the pressure, forced the turnover with an intercept. After a bit of indecision, finally spread the ball to the right. bit of sloppy passing towards the end there. Got the ball to the wing, and then a solid 70-metre run to the try, making the most of that six-player team there by Samoa with the sin bin still in effect.
Yeah, that was a great effort there by Samoa, especially like you said, because they do only have 6 players on the field. But just a bit of messy ball there, and they handed the ball straight back into the hands of the Solomon Islands.
Samoa get the score.
As we're getting ready for another kick-off, Solomon Islands to kick into the hands of Samoa.
Solomon Islands there, unfortunately unsuccessful in the conversion. 10 to the Solis and 0 to Samoa, hoping to come back here with another nice strong run.
That's a big run there by the number 2 of Samoa, who works her way across the field and tries to go up the centre and use her strength, and the ball's offloaded again as we work our way to that left-hand side of the field. As she tries to get away from one of the players, the ball's offloaded and steps back inside, taken down by the Solomon Islands. The ball is offloaded again to the left-hand side, taken down again as Samoa get the ball back in hand.
They've definitely got the numbers on the right here. They just need to pass the ball before going into the tackle. But good run to the left-hand field here by number 1 going down the sideline. As the players go out of view of the commentary box, unfortunately, we have no idea where the ball is currently. There we go. So unfortunately we weren't able to see that just then, but it looks as if Samoa have got their first try of the day with an unsuccessful conversion. Pretty tricky attempt there to get the ball through the sticks, as they are on the far left-hand side. But which now takes the score 10-5. So Samoa are still in this game. We are still in the first half, and they have a really great opportunity here, and they just showed that if they work hard and support each other in their attacking play, they're able to get some tries. So Samoa are getting ready now to kick the ball back into the hands of the Solomon Islands. The ball goes downrange, bit of a bounce there as Samoa rush up on the Solomon Islands, but they're not able to make the contact there. The ball is taken, sent back into the centre of the field, and working through the centre, working through the hands as they start to send the ball out to the left-hand side. Step back on the inside, find the space, and there are no Samoan players. Oh, there we go. Samoa managed to make the tackle, but the ref calls it up as a high tackle, another high tackle from Samoa. So it is Solomon Islands' opportunity as they take the quick tap here. And the ref blows it up again. I don't actually think... So not getting back the 10 metres there on the quick tap for the Solomon Islands, and they go again, moving the ball to the left.
Ball sent out to the left-hand side. An easy try there for the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, good work there to the lead-up play to that try there. Spreading the ball through the hands, making sure they pull that defender, which is crucial, before sending it off. Bit of a fumble there, bit of a high tackle penalty to Solomon Islands. Goes for the quick tap. Excellent little try. Going for the conversion, currently at 15-5.
Unsuccessful conversion there by the Solomon Islands as the ref blows the halftime whistle for this game. Solomon Islands versus Samoa. This score currently sitting 15-5 to the Solomon Islands, and what a first half this has been. Ian, what's your take on the first half?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Both teams quite evenly matched there. Solomon Islands, though, just a little bit better in the execution. They've got good hands. The coach has done a lot of work. Spoke to him yesterday, and they're quite an eager team. They brought themselves together from across the police and military services to come over here and play. Samoa, though, not a bad effort. Good, strong running, straight running there. They just need to work on maintaining a bit of possession and hopefully get a couple of early points in the second half to take it back to the Sollies. But so far, it's been an excellent game.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is the first half of the Solomon Islands Samoa game. Up next is Tonga versus Vanuatu. So that should be a good game as these teams move into their second match of the day here at the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's. And like you said, Ian, they're a mixed bag of players from military and police forces from around the Pacific, which is great to see. We've got New Zealand here, Tonga, Samoa, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, Australia, as these two teams make their way back out onto the field. It's a bit of a breeze is starting to pick up here in chilly Canberra as we are at the Royal Military College of Duntroon. It's been a great day so far and some great rugby being played. Great rugby sevens as Samoa are heading to the ball and they're going to kick off to the Solomon Islands. As Samoa send the ball into the hands of the Solomon Islands, and unfortunately for them, bit of a knock on there, so we'll go into a scrum with Samoa feeding the ball in. Not what you want in the first couple of seconds of that second half there.
So Samoa would do well now here to make use of the blind side. The Solomon Islands put all their defence on the right-hand side of the pitch, which is good pressure if the ball would go that way. But a nice little blindside run here would see Samoa do well. But they go to the left.
As Samoa pick the ball up, and unfortunately a bit of a knock on there. So the ball will go into the hands of the Solomon Islands as we go into another scrum.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not the cleanest ball coming out of the scrum there. Rugby 7 scrums, only 3v3. It gets quite intense in the middle there. So, yeah, Solomon Islands did well to put pressure on the Samoan scrum.
Now it'll be interesting to see which way the Solomon Islands go, as there is lots of room out on the left-hand side. But the ball spills out and it's picked up by the Solomon Islands. And a lot of pressure there in defence by Samoa as the ball's kind of spilled all over the place here, but the ref calls it up as a
knock on.
Bit of a knock on there, so we'll have another scrum going to Samoa.
Yeah, a bit of a double knock on there. Solomon Islands fortunately got the first little knock on forward there. Samoa would like to make up for that previous scrum here. Nice solid scrum again. Solomon Islands putting a lot of defence onto the right hand side of the field here. The blind side's open with heaps of space on the right side of the pitch.
So we do a bit of a reset there for the scrum.
Ref just having a quick chat there about the feed into the scrum. It's quite contested in the middle there. The players doing their best to upset the scrum, but a clean scrum there by Samoa, unfortunately putting the ball down.
The ball's collected by the Solomon Islands as they're on the... as they look to go towards the centre of the field, but big contact there. As Samoa get the ball back, but unfortunately the ref is blowing the whistle for not releasing, so the ball will go back to the Solomon Islands as they look to go for the quick tap. And they go to the centre of the field and pass the ball out, and they're working their way out to the left-hand wing, but no, they step back inside, head to the centre of the field. They're running laterally, bit of a goose step there as they take the ball back into the centre of the field, just shifting the ball from left to right here. Number 8 with the ball in hand, Siapu, and number 1 in Ngalo. Again, she's a try scoring machine, takes Solomon Islands over for another try.
Yeah, beautiful work there. Clean hands through the attack. Finally finding a bit of space on the left-hand side and scoring another 5-pointer under the post. Samoa, unfortunately, just being let down by a couple of silly errors and not the most solid set pieces. I'm sure if they get their scrums into a better position, they should be able to take it back to the Sollies. But at this stage, Solomon Islands doing an excellent job.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're moving into the final minutes of the second half, the next game is Tonga Vanuatu. The current score is 22-5 in favour of the Solomon Islands as they look to kick off now into the hands of Samoa. A short kick there collected by Samoa. Ball bouncing a couple of times as they head towards the centre of the field to make the contact. Good contact there by Solomon Islands. But the ref is blowing the whistle saying that the Solomon Island team is not rolling away. So Samoa will go for the quick tap and they send one of their big players down to the centre of the field who offloads the ball. Manages to get past one of the defence, get past the second, third, fourth as she makes her way down the centre of the field. Number one in
Excellent run there. Big, strong fan in the centre of the pitch, and Samoa comes back with a quick try. That's a great job there. Samoa just shows, pays off, get a nice clean ball, good control of it, and if they send it up with their big runners, due to score some good points. Unfortunately, not successful with the conversion there. 22-10 to the Solomon Islands.
All right, we've probably got about a minute left in this second half. Samoa kicking off to the Solomon Islands as they go for the short kick there. Caught by the Solomon Islands, who sends the ball into the centre of the field as they start to work their way over to the left-hand side. Number 5 in. Takes it up. Bit of a messy ball here. It is collected by no one. Bit of a knock on there by Samoa. So it is the Solomon Islands ball as they get ready for another scrum. All right, getting ready. Solomon Island to feed into the scrum as they set themselves up deep off the back of the scrum here. Ball comes out. Ball spilled, though. Good pressure there by Samoa, who... All right, so the whistle's blown from the ref there. Penalty to Samoa, and they've got a really good opportunity here. They will not win this game today, but they definitely have an opportunity now to get some more points on the field as they go for the tap. She tries to muscle her way through the defence, but unfortunately she spills the ball, and it's picked up by the Solomon Islands, who then flick the ball over to the back into... Bit of a knock on there again by Samoa, so it's another scrum. And the Solomon Islands will be feeding this one.
Yeah, again, classic rugby sevens look, hands on the shoulders, players starting to get a bit tired. There's a lot of space on this pitch when there's only 7 players on it, and the fatigue sets in pretty quick. So the Solomon Islands doing well at this stage to keep the pressure up. Oh, big smash there by Samoa.
Good pressure there off the back of the scrum by Samoa, but the Solomon Islands managed to get the ball off the back there as they're sitting on that left-hand wing as the number 10 in Haome takes the ball up. Ball spills back and it's collected by Samoa. Ball back in hand here as she shoves off one of the defence. Works her way over to that right wing. Hands the ball off to the number 6 as they work laterally across the field there. Looks to pass, takes it in herself. She's all alone though. Manages to get the ball off the ground as they send it out to the wing there. And there's some space out on the wing as she can just... There we go. Number 7 into the hands of Pillai, who manages to get over the line there. Samoa off with another try.
Yeah, that was excellent. The girls are lying down on the pitch. They're tired. That was good work, making the most of the overlap on the left-hand side there. Good to draw the last player in there and get that ball off for a corner try. Excellent with the conversion to come at the moment. We've got Solomon Islands on 22 and Samoa on 15 for the last play of the game there.
Alrighty, so the ref has blown the final whistle of the game today. Tonga v Solomon Islands, and the Solomon Islands have taken out this game 22-15. That was a great effort there by both teams, and credit to Samoa, who really muscled their way in at the end there to manage to get that try, which is great to see. And if you've just joined us, hello and welcome to the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's being held in a chilly and freezing Canberra at the Royal Military College, as these two teams make their way off the field and we get ready for the next match, which is Tonga Vanuatu. So both teams are playing 3 games today, and all teams are now working their way into their second game of the day. Looked like there were some tired players out there. I guarantee you that they'll be even more tired after the third game.
Yeah, Tonga Vanuatu both coming off losses. At Tonga, unfortunately, going down 36-10 to New Zealand there. Vanuatu ran into a very strong and determined Fiji. So both teams would like to get a little win on the board here at the first day of the comp, with an excellent game there by the Solomon Islands against Samoa. We put up a good effort towards the end there. Unfortunately, just a little bit too late.
As the crowd cheers on Samoa, and a courageous effort by them there. And we'll take a short break as we get ready for the next game. I am your commentator, Molly Gray, joined by Ian Beaton, and we'll be back with you shortly. Alrighty, hello and welcome back to the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7s as we move into the Tonga v Vanuatu game. This is their second game for the day. Both teams coming off a loss, so both teams wanting to prove a point here and come away with the win as Vanuatu look to kick the ball into the hands of Tonga. Bit of a low kick there. Chased there by Tonga as they look to find their way through the defence as she works her way up the field into the centre of the field. Hasn't passed the ball yet, but she's found some space and she works her way straight through that defensive line there and manages to battle in a foot race here. Gets over the line. Tonga, first points on the board.
There we go. Excellent play there by Tonga. A bit of individual work by Tonga number 5 there, I believe. It's number 7, sorry. Smashing up through the middle of the field. Couple of strong fends there, making it all the way for a solid 70-metre run for a try under the post.
All right, Tonga kicking the ball off into the hands of Vanuatu, who catch it and spread it towards the middle there, start to work their way up the field. Offload the ball again. Look to pass, sending it out to the wing. Unfortunately, Vanuatu there with a bit of a knock-on. Tonga able to scoop the ball up here, but the ref will call it back as the knock on and we'll go into a scrum. First scrum of the game today. Tonga to feed. As Tonga spreading themselves out across the field, giving themselves that blindside option as well. The ball spills out the back here and they look to take that blindside option as the number 3 works her way through the defence again. Not able to get away from the defence this time as she starts to work laterally into the centre of the field again. Offloads the ball to the number 4 as they work their way through, muscling her way down. No ruckus form there, but Vanuatu managing to pick the ball up here, looking for options.
Little tiny knock on there by Tonga. Vanuatu making most of the play coming back towards the ball there, getting a little turnover. But Tonga's strong play, smashing up through the middle. They had a bit of an overlap on the left there. Unfortunately, hands just not clean enough through the ball. But with an attacking scrum on the 22 here, they ought to do quite well. With the ball going on left.
And Tonga with the ball there, looking to move the ball over to the left-hand side of the field. They find the player, they find the space, they manage to get over for another try. Second try of the game to Tonga. Too easy.
Beautiful little offload there to the left, over the head. Almost a bit of a no-look pass. But the refs pulled it back, I think, here for a forward pass, perhaps. And, it looks like we've got Vanuatu's scrum at the moment. That's unfortunate. It was a good little bit of play. Unfortunately, just not coming up to the end there.
All right, Vanuatu here with an opportunity. As the scrum is being set. But the ref calls it up. Too much movement. As they reset and Vanuatu looks to feed the ball. Ball comes out the back, Vanuatu collecting the ball, sending it through the hands, dodges one of the Tongan players and goes for the kick down range. And the chase is on, but it looks like Tonga is going to come up with the ball here, but there's a bit of a push and shove. Tonga manages to get the ball in hand, starts to work their way down the centre of the field, fending off one of the Vanuatu players, and she's got 2 in front of her, but she manages to streak her way through, and another try to Tonga.
Awesome bit of individual work there on the counter-attack. Bit of sloppy play getting the ball off with a bit of a random boot in there, but Tonga finally getting their hands on the ball. Bit of a counter-attack. Vanuatu not quick to get the defence set again, but excellent work there by Tonga for the conversion to come. And the conversion was successful there for Tonga.
As they slowly make their way back to the halfway line. No rush here. No rush. They're definitely well ahead of Vanuatu. As Vanuatu set themselves up to receive the ball. Bit of a shorter kick there, collected by Vanuatu. As she takes the ball into contact, manages to get past one defender, taken down by the second. Ball collected out the back there off the ground by Vanuatu, who looked to do a bit of a blind pass there, and they managed to work their way across the field, but they're going backwards here. They really need to start moving forward if they want to get any traction on the field. They're on the far right-hand side of the field. Send the ball back in just before it goes out. Really need to slow the play down here, but unfortunately for them, bit of a knock on, so it'll be Tonga's ball this time as we go into another scrum.
Tonga nice and physical there, good pressure on Vanuatu, a couple of big hits. They're forcing them all the way to the other side of the pitch. Somehow they managed to get the ball out, and just a little knock on there, getting the ball to Tonga now. Scrum on the 10 on an attacking Tongan feed.
Tonga will look to spread the ball wide here and use their speed out on that right wing. Oh no, they go down the blind, and she's met by one of the Vanuatu defenders, but she manages to get around her, get around the second one as she streaks away to get another try. And that's another try to Tonga.
I think it's 12. I don't know, but I didn't see if they got the first conversion. So I was like, yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah.
Tonga getting ready to go for the conversion, unfortunately. Just comes off the side of the foot there and is way too low for the sticks. But they're still well ahead of the Vanuatu side. So both teams coming off a loss in their first games, but Tonga definitely proving that they are out here to win this game, not giving Vanuatu any opportunities with the ball today as they gear up for another kick-off. They go for a low kick, collected by Vanuatu, looks around to pass the ball, a bit of a stutter step there, sends it out to the left-hand side, but in the contact, it's knocked on by Vanuatu, taken up by Tonga as she works her way to the centre of the field, looks to step right and is taken down by two of the Vanuatu players. Good ruck contest there, but it's picked up by Tonga. Another bit of a stutter step there, and we move out to the left-hand side of the field as she tries to work her way around, and she's managed to work her way around the Vanuatu defence, and they go in for another try. Tonga right in the centre of the sticks there, another try to Tonga.
Unsuccessful conversion there by Tonga. Tonga leading 22-0 against Vanuatu. Vanuatu doing some good plays. It's just not coming off for them at the end. Bit of ball handling errors, but at the moment Tonga just muscling their way over the top of the Vanuatu team and doing really well. A nice convincing lead in the first half, with the second half yet to come as we go into half time.
So we'll take a short break and we'll be back with you in the second half. Hello and welcome back to the second half of the Tonga v Vanuatu game. Tonga currently leading 22-0. So both teams are coming off from a loss in their first games, but Tonga are definitely proving that they are out here to win today, as they are putting a lot of pressure on the Vanuatu side. Thanks for joining us, and you commentators today. I'm Molly Gray, and I'm joined here by Ian Beaton. So, Ian, what do you think Vanuatu need to do if they want to get some points on the board in the second half?
Yeah, look, I think Vanuatu's they've done pretty well up to this point. Unfortunately, no points yet. But I reckon if they can manage to keep a hold of the ball, spread it onto the wings, like they're trying to do at the moment, they've got a bit of fast pace out in the wings. That might get them a couple of points down the line, but unfortunately, just a bit of a forward pass play there, which will see Tonga receive a good attacking scrum just short of the 22 in the centre of the pitch.
Yeah, Vanuatu really need to look to pick up their game if they want to get some good opportunities here. They've had the opportunities, but they just seem to be making these crucial mistakes as we get ready for the scrum. Tonga feed, the ball comes out the back and they look to go to the open side. The ball's passed as they head towards that right-hand wing, but they take it back into the contact there. As she steps back in, the ball comes out. Bit of a knock on there, double knock on, so the ball now goes to triple knock on, I think, maybe.
There was a lot of knock ons, but I reckon it ended up Vanuatu receiving the ball here. Look, Vanuatu, they can definitely make the most out of the wings here. Tonga pushing up to the right a lot, so I reckon a blindside play would be on here if the feed to the scrum goes well. It's a long way to go up the pitch yet, but I reckon they've got it in them. Ref not happy with the scrum there, just going to reset it. Vanuatu up against a couple of big Tongan girls there. Be a solid scrum in there, and a lot of movement in that scrum. It makes it hard to feed the ball and get a nice clean feed to the backs.
Alrighty, so Vanuatu feed the ball, send it out the back. Unfortunately, goes straight through the hands of the Vanuatu player, but they managed to gather the ball up and is taken down by one of the Tongan players, thrown to the ground as she gets straight over the top of that ruck. Vanuatu scrambling to get the ball in hand here, and another knock on for Vanuatu. So if Tonga can get the ball here, then they'll... No, so the ref blows the whistle again. Knock on, and we go back into a scrum, and it is Tonga's feed. Now Tonga have a really good opportunity here as they are right on that 5 metre line, and they set up on both sides of the scrum, so they're looking to either, they've got the opportunity there to go to the open side or to the blind side. It looks like it'll be a pretty easy option if they hit that blind side, as Vanuatu really don't have anyone covering out there.
Yeah, look for Tonga here to play off the scrum. Probably single feet out, go nice and straight, and just smash it up the middle, but not the cleanest feet out of the back of the scrum. With a play off onto the left-hand side, number 7 putting it down for another great try. Coming back, bit of dive, trying to get closer to the post for the conversion. Excellent try by Tonga.
As Tonga get ready for the conversion, just off to the left-hand side of the posts here. She lines it up and she unfortunately sends it across the face of the posts. So Tonga are now sitting 27 points to 0. Vanuatu yet to score. So they've got to do a lot of work if they want to try and at least get some points on the board. I'd say that the game is definitely going to be won by Tonga today. But Vanuatu really need to start hustling if they just want to get a couple of points on the board just to get their confidence set in. So the ball is sent down range now by Tonga into the hands of Vanuatu. Unfortunately, a knock on again by Vanuatu as the ref blows the whistle and we move into a scrum. And that is Tonga's feed.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The ball originally going backwards, but then just the bounce of the ball taking it to a forward play, and Tonga, receiving the scrum here off the knockoff. Looks like they're putting themselves up mostly to the left, but it looks like it might be a bit of a blindside run on with the try scorer from before, number 7 on the right-hand side there.
Okay, so the ball getting caught up there in the scrum, but finally comes out as they look to go to the blind side. Number 3 sending it, taking it herself as she does a bit of a foot race there with the Vanuatu defence, and she manages to make her way straight through and around the defence, and she gets the try for Tonga again. Another try to Tonga.
Yeah, good play on the right-hand side, and saw a bit of space on the blind side. Had some support as well, but didn't need it in the end there. Found the gap. Good fancy feet work on the right side of the pitch. Come back in for a nice score. Looking to convert the try now.
As she lines it up and sends it through, but unfortunately is unsuccessful with that conversion. They make their way back to the halfway mark. Vanuatu set up already to receive the ball. There's only a few minutes left in this second half, so Tonga looking to take out their first win of the Pacific Military Cup 7's. Vanuatu catches the ball, kicks the ball down range straight into the hands of one of the Tongan players, who then works her way through the centre, but passes it out to that right-hand side there as they're still working their way through the centre, muscling their way through the Vanuatu defence. Offloads the ball again. There's no one out there in support on that far left wing for Tonga as the ball is taken to ground. It's offloaded again, but number 3 takes the ball, works her way down that left-hand wing, and all the space in the world there. So Tonga over the line again for another try.
Yeah, good work there by Tonga, making the most of a tiring Vanuatu team. It's been a pretty high-paced game for these two teams, considering the nerves that they experienced during the first game. But Tonga just too strong, just too good on the ball. A couple of nifty little offloads to get them across the line, and some fine footwork to finish it off.
So Tonga unsuccessful with the conversion there. The ball looked like it came just off the inside of her foot there and hooked to the left. Not that it really matters too much for them because they are so far ahead of Vanuatu at the moment. We've only got about a minute left in this second half as Tonga send the ball down range into the hands of Vanuatu, who let it bounce a couple of times, collect the ball up. She looks to pass, sends it out to the left-hand side there, sends it back to the right, sends it to the right again, goes back to the left, and is picked up by Tonga. Tonga then moves towards that far right-hand wing as they muscle their way through the Vanuatu defence, and Tonga are just too strong as they go over for another easy try against Vanuatu.
Yeah, Vanuatu just too tired, I think, at this stage. Kind of no one claiming that ball off the kickoff, no one nominating to take it up. And then the left-right passing doesn't really get them anywhere. They needed someone there to take it up and just run straight at the defence. Tonga, good pressure, makes the most of it and scores the final try of the game.
And that's the end of the Tonga-Vanuatu game, and the final score is 42-0. So Tonga take out this game against Vanuatu, and what a game it was. Tonga really starting to assert themselves in the competition. And if you are just joining us, hello and welcome to the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's being hosted by the Australian Defence Force in a very chilly Canberra at the Royal Military College in Duntroon. So welcome as these two teams make their way off the field now. And we're getting ready for the next game of the day and the final game before we break for lunch, and it's going to be Fiji versus New Zealand. Both teams won their first game of the day, so it's going to be really interesting to see which team will take the win out. You've got the Fiji, the Flying Fijians, and their very tricky ball skills are going to be met by the very strong, very skillful New Zealand side. So stick with us, and we'll be back shortly.
Oh yeah, number one. Yeah, that was
So New Zealand have just finished off their haka. So this is the New Zealand versus Fiji game. Both teams coming off a win from their first game as they move into their second game of the day. So this is going to be a very competitive game, I can guarantee you that. The Flying Fijians and their tricky hands versus the ever skillful New Zealand side. Both sides very strong and powerful teams. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in this game as New Zealand get ready to send the ball down range into the hands of Fiji.
Yeah, that's it. Having spent a bit of time with the Fijians over the last couple of days, I know they were quite keen for this game when it came up in the draw originally. This should be a cracker of a game.
As New Zealand look to kick the ball quite high and shallow, straight into the hands of the Fijian player. Good defence there as New Zealand try and get over that ruck, but they couldn't manage to budge the ruck. Fiji with the ball in hand, sending the ball through the hands, but now working their way through the centre of the field. As New Zealand are all over that ruck there, and Fiji get done for holding onto the ball. New Zealand go for the quick tap, and they work their way through, sending the ball through the hands as they look to go out onto the wing there, but Fiji with a good solid tackle, putting some good pressure on New Zealand. They get the ball out the back of the ruck, send it through the hands towards the centre of the field, and they manage to dance their way through the centre of the field, muscle their way through, bit of a high tackle there. Ref looks like he's going to pull that one up, but New Zealand still with the ball in hand as they dance their way to the line. They're right in front of it, and they manage to get over for their first try of the game.
What an opener to this game. A lot happening there. Excellent defence by the Fijians. Kept the Kiwis out for quite a bit there. New Zealand just maintaining the pressure. They were playing advantage there all the way from the halfway line up until scoring that try. Initially for a bit of an offside play and then a bit of a high tackle towards the end there. Fast-paced action. Hopefully the Fijians can come back nice and strong now after the kickoff.
As Hutana looks to convert her own try, and it is successful for New Zealand. So it takes them 7 points to 0 against Fiji in the first few minutes of this first half. That was a great first effort there by New Zealand. So it gives you a bit of a preview of what's going to happen in this action-packed game. New Zealand versus Fiji as Hutana gets ready to send the ball back into the hands of the Fijians. New Zealand rushing up in defence there as Fiji have their eyes on the ball. They flick it back to their player. Take it into contact. No one's there. New Zealand managed to get the ball up. As the ruck is formed and New Zealand get the ball out of the back of the ruck and they start to send it back through the hands to the centre of the field, trying to get some space out there. They find it on the left-hand wing as they work their way around the defence, but they manage to be taken down by the Fijians. New Zealand with the ball back in hand as they send it to the hands of Hutana. They work their way to the centre of the field, drawing the Fijian players and start to work their way out to the right-hand side. Looks to pass, passes to the wing. Fiji all over New Zealand in defence there as they take it down to ground, slow the ball down. Unfortunately, the players have got out of view from the commentary box right now, so I have zero idea what's going on.
And Fiji gets the ball, coming back with a nice big kick going downfield. Not a strong chase there. New Zealand got the ball going into the left-hand corner. Fortunate bounce there for the Kiwis. And another excellent try by New Zealand.
And that's another try to New Zealand there as Hutana sets herself up to convert this try, looks to convert the try. As she sends it high and she sends it straight through the centre of the sticks. So that takes New Zealand to 14 points to 0 over Fiji. The game isn't over yet though, because Fiji are definitely still strong contenders in this game. They just need to get the ball in hand, but New Zealand are putting so much pressure on them. I'd just like to see Fiji with some good ball in hand here, but it's the kickoff from Hutana that really allows the New Zealand defence to get right up in Fiji's face and put the pressure on them. So we'll see what happens. As we go into the kickoff, she sends it high Again, New Zealand putting that pressure on that we've seen twice before. Fiji ball in hand, try to find a gap, take it into contact as they get over the top of the ruck there and look to kick the ball out to the back to one of their players and try and find some space there through the centre, but good defence there by New Zealand as they try and hold the Fijian player up, but they can't manage to do that. Fiji with the ball still, sending it out to the left-hand side of the field, work their way up there in defence. Not making too many metres forward at the moment. They just seem to keep being pushed back by New Zealand. Slowing the ball down, sending it out to that first receiver, and Hutana comes in and tries to streak away with the ball there, but unfortunately she knocks the ball forward, so Fiji get another opportunity here.
Yeah, that must be real frustrating for Fiji. Had some good ball in hand there. They're just on the edge of being able to break the defence, the New Zealand defence, but strong defence, busy work off the ball by New Zealand there, and the intercept just going wrong with a little knock on at the end there. Fiji would like to get a nice, strong, solid scrum out of this and hopefully try and get out of their own 22 where they can start attacking the Kiwis. But some excellent handling by the Fijians, as you'd expect.
All right, Fiji taking the ball into contact again. New Zealand putting the pressure on, and they manage to take the ball off the Fijians as they go into contact again. And they start to spread the ball right out to that far left-hand wing as they look to find the space. Step back inside, right inside of the Fijians as they put the pressure on in defence, though. New Zealand able to slow the ball down a little bit now. Goes to the first receiver, sends off to the second receiver as they make their way across the field. They're good hands, but unfortunately she drops it.
And the ref playing advantage of an offside from Fiji there. New Zealand will receive the penalty in a good position. They've got good open space play on both sides of the field, but Fiji defence nice and solid. New Zealand just a little bit too busy for them on the attack as they go off with a quick tap here.
New Zealand with a switch on the inside there, take the ball right up the centre, muscling their way up to that try line as Fiji tried to hold them up. New Zealand take the ball off the back of the ruck there, spread it out to the left-hand side, take it all the way out to the winger, and too easy for New Zealand as they head towards the centre of the field there and score another try.
Just too good, New Zealand there. Nice clean ball out of the ruck, and then just enough players on the left-hand side there to create that overlap. Quick hands, well disciplined, and another try for New Zealand. Fiji doing really good in defence, just being outplayed a little bit here. It'd be nice to see them get some nice clean ball and hopefully put a bit of a run in and try and get some points on the boards as we're looking for the conversion for that third try.
As Hutana lines up for another conversion. High kick there, and she's successful with another conversion so far. And that takes New Zealand to 21 points to 0 over Fiji. As the ref blows the whistle for the end of the first half. Ian, what did you think of that first half?
Yeah, that was pretty good. The pace of the game was a lot faster than some of the games we've seen before, as you'd expect with quite big rugby nations in Fiji and New Zealand. New Zealand just coming up there with the 3 tries to none, just because a bit better ball player, especially off the ball, getting the defence set, nice clean passing. Fiji solid defence, though unfortunately just not being able to get some hand on the ball to give us some of that attacking flair that we know and love from the Fijians.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take a short break while both teams have a bit of a chat and have a bit of a breather, we'll be back with you in a couple of moments. and welcome back to the second half of the New Zealand versus Fiji game of the Pacific Military Cup 7's. The inaugural competition being held over 2 days, so the Friday and the Saturday. All teams will be playing 3 games today and a couple of tomorrow as well, as Fiji kick the ball downrange into the hands of New Zealand. And it's taken well by the number 4 and met by a strong defensive line of the Fijians, but New Zealand managing to get the ball out of the back, sending it across the field. Bit of a cutout pass there as they head towards that right wing, and they look to try and race past the Fijians there. Managed to be taken down though by one of the Fijian players. New Zealand ball in hand again, sending it deep into the back line, and Hutana with a deep kick as she races towards that try line there and manages to get the try for New Zealand. Smart move there by Hutana.
Yeah, excellent play. They just saw there was no one in the back for defence. The Fijians a bit bunched up on the left-hand side there, trying to defend that previous run. Excellent little chip kick, well weighted, and jots it down in the try zone. Oh, excellent job.
This is a fantastic showcase of women's rugby here today, and for those of you who are just joining us, hello and welcome. My name is Molly Gray, and I am joined by Ian Beaton in the commentary box today. So we're really glad that you could all join us, because you're definitely watching a great game of women's rugby. New Zealand are just outclassing Fiji today. Both teams coming off wins from their first game of the competition, but New Zealand really starting to steer away from Fiji, as the score is now 26-0, as Hutana looks to kick the ball back down range into the hands of the Fijians, which gives them another opportunity. And she sends the ball high and deep onto the left-hand side of the field, taken by Fiji as they look to spread it across the field. New Zealand with their rush defence though, pushing Fiji a few metres back. Not what Fiji want though. If they can just get their hands on the ball. The ref blowing the whistle, and it is Fiji's ball as they look to take that quick tap and head towards the right-hand wing. Switch back on the inside there. And the ruck is formed. Fiji running with the ball with the ball in one hand as they send the ball out the back there. They're a bit flat-lined at the moment, and New Zealand are rushing up in defence, which doesn't give them many options, but the ref calls it back.
Just calls it back. Their players off the feet for New Zealand during the clear out, just not staying on their feet, trying to contest for that ball. Fiji lucky to get away with it there. There's a slight little knock on by the looks of it before that ruck, but ended up being a wild pass to the left hand side with New Zealand just knocking it on. Fiji now spreading the ball to the left
as they spread it right over there to the left-hand wing as she tries to race her way down the field there, beating one of the players. She's got to beat one more. If she can get around there, she might be in with a try as she gets past the New Zealand defence, and she streaks all the way down to the end, and Fiji get their first try of the game. What a try.
Beautiful play there. Classic Fiji passing rugby, getting the ball all the way to the other side of the pitch on the left-hand side. Great pace on the left wing there. That's an excellent little bit of running there. Fiji will be feeling pretty good now, early in the second half, coming back with a quick little try.
Great effort there by Fiji, and the crowd are absolutely loving it as well. There's a great crowd here at the Royal Military College of Duntroon today. We've got support for all of the countries here at the Pacific Military Cup. And there's definitely a lot of countries participating in this competition. We've got New Zealand, we've got Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, Solomon Islands, Australia as well. So you're definitely in for a brilliant 2 days of women's rugby as Fiji send the ball down range into the hands of New Zealand. And that's a good take there by New Zealand at a bit of a step off to the left hand as she steps back inside and works her way down the field using her speed. She's got support on the right-hand side there as the number 19 of New Zealand races away from the Fijian defence, and they're just too classy, and they retaliate with another try.
Yeah, good play there by New Zealand. Some fancy footwork with a step back inside, creates the space, and then she did well there to just keep an eye on the opposition, waited for the support, and then a nice clean pass. Took the hit up there. It was a bit of a nice hit on by the Fijians, but clean, nice try. Good comeback there after a sneaky little Fijian try for New Zealand.
Scored by New Zealand 33, Fiji 7.
All right, so that takes the score 33-7 in favour of New Zealand as Hutana lines up to send the ball back into the hands of the Fijians, and we'll see if they can retaliate with another try. As she sends it high and over to the right-hand side of the field, the Fijians let the ball bounce, and it bounces all the way out. So we're going to set up now for a line out, and it'll be Fiji to throw in. This will be a good opportunity for the Fijians if they can manage to get the ball through their hands. They've got a lot of space out there, so hopefully they can use this to their advantage. But they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get down to their try line. Fiji line in. Is there...
Oh, the ref pulling him up for taking too long. That's a bit unfortunate. Fiji just not getting the call out to the players. New Zealand going quickly off the left-hand side here, springing it through the hands. And she finds the gap. Fiji defence just not strong enough there for another New Zealand try. Excellent job there off the errors from Fiji.
Oh, Fiji, what are you doing? It's another missed opportunity there by Fiji, unfortunately. They just took a little bit too long, and the ref called it, and he gave the ball back to New Zealand. And they just managed to work their way across the field and just find the space, find the gaps, and get another try. So New Zealand are just streaking away further and further from Fiji as they look to take the win for this game. Hutana for the kick, and it just goes off to the left-hand side of the post there. So unfortunately, she wasn't able to convert that, but you know what? I really don't think it matters too much because they're so far ahead now, sitting at 38 points to 7 over Fiji. We've probably got the last play of the game. Definitely the last minute or so as New Zealand kick off. She sends it high. Just manages to get over that 10-metre line, and it bounces back into New Zealand's half, and it goes out. And that is the final whistle for the Fiji v New Zealand game, and New Zealand take the win 38-7. And what a game that was. Both teams coming off a win in their first game, but New Zealand really showing Fiji what they're made of. Two very strong rugby countries, but New Zealand definitely showing a lot of class and pace and speed and strength in today's game. So congratulations to New Zealand. My name is Molly Gray, and I'm joined up here by Ian Beaton, and we will now take a short lunch break and let the girls have a bit of a rest as they recover and recuperate, and we'll get ready to get into this afternoon's game. So thank you for joining us for the first half of the day of the inaugural Pacific Military Cup 7's, and we'll be back shortly.